Yes. We're just talking about Jesus having the keys of hell and death. Yes. And as I mentioned again, I do not want my personal life involved with any person that wants to go to hell. Now, a lot of other religions, they have their own idea about what heaven is. Yes. But if you worship the devil and your thought is, well, I'm just going to go to hell, yes, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Now, there are different cultures, yes, in different nations. And I do want volunteers that want to experience the uninhibited sexuality of being a woman, yes, that they have no intention of going to the Christian hell. Now, in chapter 2, unto the angel of the church of Ephesus, write, these things saith he that holdeth the seven stars in his right hand, who walketh in the midst of the seven golden candlesticks. Yes, I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil. Now there's a little e there. Yes. And thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and hast found them liars. Now let's say, that you're in one of these churches. Yes. And you do know the works, right? And the labor of those and the patience of those that have really attempted to be the Christianity that they think they should be. Yeah. But there are some of those that are evil. Now let's say you were told you had to have a look-alike. Yes. And you're a man and you thought, well, why do I have to have this? Yes. Well, this is the way that we're going. Every man will have a dog, and your dog will use your sexual nerve endings. Yes. And we manufactured these things so that you could stay home and your dog could go to work. Right. And you gave your passwords to your government job. Yes. And your dog applied for credit in your name. Yes, it did. And has been using your credit in your credit cards and has been using your personal name when the actual thing that was manufactured is not yourself. Yeah. Mhm. Now, there is some crime involved in this idea of the way that you're going. Yes. It's evil. Oh, I just can't bear with those that are evil. Yes. I don't think I should have to have anything to do with any form of government in this nation and other nations. Yes. Where the actual employees of the government are not the actual employees, but their twin is. Yes. Their dog is. Yes. Because their dogs torture citizens. Right, right, right. Now, there are those that say they're apostles. Quite possibly Mike Van Proyen and the King's way of doing things. Yes. Was to make a look-alike of each of those in the congregation. So he could be on them. Yes. So that he could have control of what they do and what they say. Now, yesterday, I talked about domination Christianity. Yes. Instead of denomination Christianity. Today, I'm going to want to know the apostles. Could you get me the actual leadership of every denomination of Christianity? Yes. In this nation and other nations throughout the world. Yes. Now, let's say you're in Foursquare. You're Dennis. You're Dave Veach. Yes. And you decided to go the way of Mike Van Proyen because his top secret family's way of doing things, right, is everyone gets a dog and the dog acts like they're the pastor, but they're not. Let's say you receive pastoral counseling from something that looked like the pastor, but it wasn't the pastor. What would be the counselor's advice in your marital relationship? Yes. Considering your sexual inhibitions as a husband and wife. Pew! Now, a dog would say, well, just come to find out and you can read what I have to say to you. Yes. Yes, you would. But this inhibition, poo. Let's say you had a real female dog as your look-alike. Yes. And that old dog would not perform new tricks unless you paid her. Pooh. Now, as I understand the family, yes, as long as you pay, they will do what you say. And you could have a kinky, uninhibited porno dog. It's good. Now, I think there is a lot of counseling advice going on in churches by those that are not pastors that said they were the apostle, where they said we are going to renovate this church, yes, and we are going to have satellite churches and we are going to plant churches throughout the world and we are all going the way. The problem with any sort of pastoral advice being given by any person that is not the actual employee of the denomination, the ordained, the licensed, is their pastoral advice? Yes, is probably not the doctrinal position of the denominations that said we're going the way. Why don't you get me the ordination again and the licenses of every denomination of Christianity? Yes, where they said, well, this is the way we're going. Pooh! Now, my thought was, yes, for any person that's been counseled, yes, by anything that looks like the actual ordained or licensed, yes, but it wasn't the individual, yes. See, they didn't ordain pastors, yes, that have look-alike dogs, yes, about how to counsel the congregation about their marital difficulties. I would say that I would sue you. I would sue you for counseling the congregation about the way that we're going. Now, for those couples that have had marital difficulties, yes, let's say that I did go to counseling while I was married. Oh, and I did want to be married. Yes. And Heidi decided, well, I'm going the way and I'm just going to make up a story and take Paul's sons. Yes. I did check with a few counselors about getting marital counseling because that was a recommendation. Yes, it was. Of the actual counselor on Guam, his assessment. Yes, that we had an argument. Now, I remember a very nice Assembly God Church in Sequim, Washington, where if I was to consider the senior pastor there, yes, them going the way I wouldn't have seen it. Now, one of their daughters happens to be a teacher in the Sequim School District. Yes. Jennifer. And about 7.5 years ago, I kind of thought that they were very honest. Yes. And I said, well, you can trust her because I did research the actual faculty. Yes, the employees of the Sequim School District. Now, I did know my sons were going to the Sequim School District. Yes, because I could read in the newspaper their names. Oh, now today, yes, I'm going to want to know all the counseling of all the ordained and those in. Because I'll tell you, if a dog gave any actual marital advice to any couple right now, I would sue the fuck right now out of every denomination of Christianity. Now, we're not going the way, Mike, okay? And since you decided, right, that you would involve yourself in the destruction of my personal life, yes, where the picture of Susan Bowers, yeah, I'm going to want to speak to Marilyn about her inhibited sexual relationship with her husband and how I might counsel her, yes, as wanting to husband her. Now, when I say I want to speak to her now, I want to speak to Marilyn Van Proyen. Then I want to know, what have you been counseling couples about the inhibitions of their sexual relationship? Could you get me the chips? Yes, because they are real. You know, I did read this first explanation about why I'm crazy. On Guam they had what was known as transformers. More than meets the eye. Poop. Each of the different tribal leaders of that United States territory had got involved in a little technology. Ooh, well, you can't say I'm crazy for the knowledge of an actual technology, yes, that can be used to communicate 5G, yes. It can be used to control. Ooh, biochip. It can be used to be put on the electric grid. Oh, monster madness. Poop. It can be used to take the brains of those that are employees of the government. Now, for all of you that thought it wasn't contraband to be couriers, yes, of a very illegal product that can actually be used to cause the death of individual? Yes, it can. For every woman that has a vagina? Yes. That was not involved in the currying? Yes. The muling? Yes. Of illegal drugs? The thought of putting anything in that purse between your legs right now so that you can sell these little chips that you could put in your left breast right now so that you could be in the sisterhood of the traveling pants of those that come to find out right now. Because I tell you, for every time I find anything in the physical bodies, yes, of any oath of office, ooch, any badge, ooh, any attorney, ooh, any judge or justice, yes, anywhere in this nation, yes, where they said, oh, I'm going to be in the top right now. I will have you sued and put in prison right now.